Can I ask you something real quick? When was the last time you actually did something intentional and meaningful to work towards a goal that you cared about? Do you not like the answer? Well, if you don't like the answer to that question, let me ask you another one. What the fuck are you waiting for? This video, well, okay, that was a bit mean, I'm sorry. This isn't the type of video it's not gonna be, this isn't gonna be a rude one. It's just gonna be some funny stories, some less funny stories, and some tidbits about addressing the elephant in the room, which could be whatever you're putting off. Hopefully you get something out of this, and I'm sorry if the what the fuck are you waiting for was rude. Promise you the rest of the video will not be that way. Now, we have to start off with a funny quote from everyone's favorite spiritual book written by someone who looks like a homeless man, but I assure you is not a homeless man. The Way of the Superior Man. Now, this book, you need to read a minimum of 2 to 3 times to get the value out of it. Trust me, the first time will be what the fuck is this guy yapping about? The second time will be, okay, there may be some golden nuggets of knowledge in here. And then the times past that, you'll actually understand and you'll be able to benefit from it. I read it once in the online PDF, not cover to cover, but just like most of it. And then I read it once, like physically, fucking front to back. So I'm just starting to understand it and get some value out of it. Hopefully I can distill that for you in this section here. And the chapter we're going to be discussing is Stop Hoping for a Completion of Anything in Life. This may sound vague, this may sound even a bit nihilistic, a bit sad. I promise you it does not mean that, like, you won't be able to achieve your goal. It doesn't mean that, like, stop hoping for a completion of anything. Like, this isn't, like, anything fucking doomer, black-pilled. All it's saying, simply, is, if you have this mindset of this quote right here, which I put up, I'll do the thing I know I should later when the time is right. If you have this approach to things, stop, please, because the time will most likely never be right. And you will, your copes will be dynamic and update as you progress or fail to progress further in life. I'll do the thing I know I should later when the time is right, is the approach I took to many things, and is the reason that I'm not more successful in a variety of areas right now. Now, the fitness example of this, because most of this channel is funny lifting based, is program hopping. Program hopping occurs when you don't exactly know what you're training for, don't exactly know why you're in this. To begin with, your identity in that sense is not very strong, and therefore you find a bunch of shit online and you're like, oh wow, this looks good, no, this looks better, and then you just fucking program hop, you don't make any results. You know program hopping is bad. Now, a bunch of people are doing that in life, and what's even worse, a bunch of people don't even start because they don't think the time is right. Again, read The Way of the Superior Man, the fucking cool book. Haven't even gotten 10% of the value that I will probably out of it, because I've only read it twice, and that may sound like a big time investment, but I promise you it will be worth it. Now let's move on to the actual real life examples. Now, here's the hilarious story of how I coped my way out of Fortnite earnings. During the quarantine, you may know, or you may not know, depending on your level of virginity, there was a funny popular game during quarantine in 2021, 2022. There were wagers in it. There were fucking actual tournaments hosted by the company. Fortnite Battle Royale. Amazing. Tyler Blevins Ninja is a household name, and he did not cope his way out of Fortnite earnings. He did much better than me in that regard, in that aspect. Here are, in my opinion, the three main reasons and or fucking mindsets and approaches that I took to Fortnite, and I did get, like, pretty good at the game mechanically. It's just, if I eliminated these 3 ways of thinking, well, I can't time travel back now, but I genuinely do think I could have fucking made some serious money on the game if I just invested the time into it properly, and here's why I did not, in my opinion. Number 1 is I need to find the best routines and maps. I remember there was entire days where I would just fucking search up the best Kovacs routine, best whatever. Lo and behold, I did not go on Kovacs for more than a week straight. Even when I went on it for just a week straight, my aim improved drastically, so I don't know why I didn't keep up the habit. But that is how I was with many things. These fucking creative maps, there was a guy, if you didn't know, in Fortnite, there's like the actual Battle Royale mode, and then there's creative, where other people can make maps. One of the most famous map creators is called Raider464. He was insane at the game. I don't know if he still is. Probably retired, settled down with a wife and kids and a dog somewhere in fucking Norway, for all I know. But back when he used to make Fortnite maps, they would always be constantly updated. So it's like, well, shit, do I do the edit course V2 or V3? And I would always be having these dilemmas, which sound really stupid, I know, in hindsight, but hindsight is 2020, as we all know. So what ended up happening is I actually did not fucking do any of these consistently. I did not do any of these things consistently, and therefore I plateaued. I got stuck at the same level for a long time, and I was wondering why. I genuinely did not know the reason. Now, obviously, looking back at it now, we know why. It's because I was always looking for the optimal thing. Much like in fitness, people fucking program hop all the time. I was like creative map hopping, and I was just overall not being invested into it, not being consistent whatsoever. Now the second one is my settings are dog shit. Now this is kind of like common cope of like, oh, I don't have the new final mouse, I don't have the best mouse and keyboard, the best computer, so I can't compete. I had that mindset for a long time, whereas realistically, it was tolerable, right? My settings and my peripherals, equipment, and shit was tolerable. Now they're outstanding, obviously, cause what's it called? Fucking invested a bunch of money into that. Actually worked for this is one of the few things in my life that I genuinely worked for and bought with my own money is all these settings, not all these settings, all these fucking equipment, peripherals, and shit. The personal computer. I don't know why I called it a personal computer. I'm a bit autistic and it's a bit late, my fault. But like the mouse and keyboard, too bad fucking quarantine will never come back and I won't make any money off of them now. Now, more than likely, if you had the same mindset, if you were in my position as well, making the same cope, maybe you were also a Fortnite player, you knew deep in the back of your head that you could compete with these settings, peripherals, whatever, the equipment that you had. It was you that was the problem, and it was you who was unwilling to put in the work, right, to improve. This is me as well, and it gave me an easy out because obviously I can't fucking change my mouse at will, so it's the mouse's fault that I'm bad at the game, not mine. Now the last one was the most laughable one, was this time constraint, where unless I had genuinely like fucking 35 hours like in a row to myself to like practice for some shit, I just wouldn't even start because I thought that I would not have enough time whatsoever. Like for example, it's like, should I play this tournament? Not really, because genuinely, this was the thought process. I only have 2 hours, that's not enough time, so I just won't do anything whatsoever. As you can imagine, this did not end well, right? This resulted in no earnings, no money made from the game, no popularity from the game whatsoever. Except one time I kind of exploited the algorithm, but that didn't last long because I forgot to ride the wave. If you have any similar mindsets to this, please look back on how much this wonderful fucking advice that your own brain conjured up, look back on how much this helped you previously. The answer is most likely none. Fucking zero. None of these three mindset fucking values, I guess, are designed to actually help you. They're just designed to keep you from doing the hard work. The hard work in the Fortnite scenario was actually playing the game consistently, just sticking to a routine, some settings, and just grinding that shit out, improving, playing better players than you. That would have been the way to go, but instead we made up all these excuses, and now here we are, broke and bitchless, because I did not make money off of Fortnite. Let's go. Now, here is the classic example of running at women at 10 p.m. and saying please. That's the most optimal method I found to get them to like you. Or at least I've read. Don't quote me on any of this. I have never seen a woman. Now, the classic from the hypothetical me that would, have made all these mistakes in the past is couple of again copes that your brain goes through. Number one is I'll ask her out at the end of the semester. Again, just pushing off the shit that you need to do right away. Literally no reason, because not much is going to change. Again, stop hoping for a fucking completion of anything in life. What's going to change between now and then? Probably not much, Second one, I have periods 2 and 6 with her. I'll ask during 6. This is literally just, if you have an option to do something earlier and later, and there's literally no difference between the two, do it fucking earlier, please. If you don't, that shows that you don't really respect yourself that much, and you're probably not going to get it done during the latter half of the day either. And what ends up happening is if you do the shit of like, oh, I'll ask her tomorrow, if you do that for long enough, lo and behold, it's the last day of school, and she's fucking absent on the last day of school because she actually has shit to do. Fucking, who would have guessed? And then there goes your chance, and then you just get fucked and like depressed. Yippee. Now the third one is when you're actually texting the person. Somehow you manage to trick them into giving you their number, and the number they gave you wasn't 911. Is the classic thing of like you messaging all your friends like, hey bro, what the fuck is this? Is this wording okay? Like, should I send it like this? Should I send it like that? You're all you and your friends are all like fucking theory crafting these things, and it's like, bro, it's not that deep. Just fucking send anything. If the person likes you, it'll be very obvious. Let's just say the one Hungarian funny moment that like has been successful for me, that's been very apparent, right? If they like you, you'll know. Okay, there won't be this like ambiguity, this like horseshit, hard to get, whatever the fuck. They probably just don't like you, okay? And the big part of the reason why they don't like you is because you're doing all these copes of like, but I don't want to talk to her now. I mean, bro, you don't even talk to the person. How do you expect them to like you when you don't even talk to them? Please. You have to accept that the first few times you try this with anyone, no matter how skibbity sigma you've made yourself to be, no matter how many on point fresh videos you've watched and fucking you bought their skincare supplement, you have to accept, it's fucking late again. You have to accept that the first few times you try this will be kind of fucking dog shit, and it's like, it's not out of your control, because obviously you can get your repetition in, do all this, but you just have to kind of deal with that, anticipate that. Don't go in with like a loser's mindset, obviously, but kind of be fine with not like being a fucking absolute coitus expert the first few times you try to properly talk to anyone or ask anyone out non-autistically. Okay, so fucking if you are having any of these similar copes, this I'll do it at the right time. Just keep this in mind, okay? What you have to realize from all these examples, though, is that this is not anti-patience. This is not just telling you to go Russian, do the thing you want to, fucking whatever the consequences, because there's one key difference, right? Patience is working towards something that you can get right now with actions that will get you there and that will benefit you. Of course, most people don't possess a lot of patience, and most people don't do this. What most people do is go in a completely different direction than what they actually want to achieve, or they're avoiding a responsibility. In the fitness example here, they would be going a completely different direction. For example, training some powerlifting dog shit when like all they actually care about in reality is looking jacked, and obviously a different method of training correlates better with that goal, right? Or also this going a different direction entirely is like you want to get earnings, you want to become a professional at the game, but you end up just, playing fucking, you end up just fucking free building. That obviously will not align to your goal very well whatsoever. Avoiding responsibility would be here, running at the woman at 10 p.m. and saying please. You don't do that because you're just scared of approaching women. It comes with practice, and if your ego is too big to fucking accept that most of the time they're gonna say no, then I really don't know what to tell you. Obviously exercise patience in the things that you do and in the way that you go about things, but know for a fact that what you're doing, if you are like doing this cope that has been described here, that is not patience, that is just being a bitch. So once again, ask yourself the question, what are you waiting for? Have a good night.